Hello, welcome to Futbol the Europa podcast, episode 11. And today, alongside me is Carlos and Sean. Welcome, both of you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us again.
Good to be back. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Very long time. Off season is always a long time.
Off season is a long time. But today we are back, and to the delight of Sean, United won 4-0 against Chelsea, and that's where we would start. And we will talk about some teams and their transfers and how the first few games have gone so far.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was watching the game live. I stayed up, and I was really glad I stayed up because it was an amazing game to watch. And I mean, Chelsea played just as good. I don't think, to be honest, the scoreline doesn't flatter Chelsea's performance, given that they failed. I think Lampard is also doing what Solskjaer is trying to do with fielding a younger team. And I mean, they, to be honest, in the first 20 minutes, it looked like Chelsea had the upper hand. If but and but all in all, he's really putting his faith in Mason Mount, Tammy Abraham. Those two played pretty good, and I can't remember. It's either left back or one of the fullbacks. Yeah, I don't know which side Emerson plays on. Left side. Yeah. The left back Emerson. He close chances. I think we also have to put it down to luck that both the two biggest chances in the game hit the woodwork, and we managed to keep a clean sheet, etc. But Chelsea actually looked pretty good. I mean, they kept to the point that their performance against Liverpool were more reflective of how good they are in that Super Cup. Is it Super Cup? Yeah, Super Cup. So that Super Cup, it just shows that with that team, I think Frank Lampard, he knows what he's doing. It's not fair that he comes off playing against us. I have to say, even as a Man U fan, I was just like, I mean, as a Man U fan, I really admire Frank Lampard as well. He's a brilliant English player. Shame that he didn't play for us. But yeah, I was pretty excited because it was the first match coming back, and all in all, over the transfer window, just seeing Solskjaer, it was very evident what he wanted to do. He wanted to get a proper defensive lineup, and put his faith into the youth that youth system that Manchester United has always been cultivating. And I'm just looking at the lineup now, and Marcus Rashford is labeled as a midfielder by the EPL app, so I'm scratching my head. But yeah, it was a fantastic game to watch. If I'm being honest, I mean, more so for a Man United fan than a Chelsea fan. But Harry Maguire, he was pretty solid. Pretty solid is an understatement, to be honest. It was very, very solid compared to yeah, yeah. I think spend. I think it was the right choice to spend that amount of money, making him the most expensive midfielder puller, defender. And I think seeing the purchases of Wan Bissaka as I think we probably finally have a proper centre back and a proper full back. If I'm being honest, yeah. Lindelof with, I think Lindelof needed that partnership with Maguire now. I think it's hopefully, fingers crossed, it's going to be like Vidic and Ferdinand. And it's a shame really that Bai didn't. Bai was a good defender, especially if Villarreal, but I mean, being injury plagued just doesn't help his case. And the fact that Luke Shaw was our player of the year last year, and he looked like the quote unquote worst defender of the four of them. He wasn't the worst, obviously, but for him to look the least best, I would say, goes to show that the transfer window was good, and everyone else performed up to par. So I'm pretty happy. I mean, Solskjaer placed his faith in putting Pereira and McTominay on over Matic and Mata. So I mean, I think something's going right. Going right. Yeah.
McTominay was a good player even in the previous season, and he showed that he can get into the starting lineup and prove his worth. And do you want to say anything about the Lukaku transfer? Bit- Like, are you sad that you don't have any striker now,
Oh no,
as per,
we
or
um, I'm not sad. I'm glad. I'm. It's a shame he's gone. I would put it that way, but I'm not upset that he's gone because we've got like we've actually got two really good proven strikers in both Rashford and Martial, right? We've got the both of them, and with a preseason like Mason Greenwood and the way he performed in um what's the youth one? What's the youth ladder underneath the? Is it just the championship or something? Yeah, the way he performed in that. I mean, for even at that level to score 41 goals and I think 20 plus assists. I can't remember the stats specifically. Um, yeah, you've got him. You got three of them, and I mean the rumor this morning was Sanchez was leaving, but even with that, you have Sanchez. I think we're probably keeping because of his experience and Matic as well, but you've got Daniel James on the side. I'll be honest. If I was a defender and I've been running for 65 minutes, and I then see Daniel James coming on, I'll be like, right, because he just Emerson. I think it was up against Emerson once, or the other side Christensen, one son. Um, yeah, I just saw him come on. He chipped the ball over the fullback and just sprinted past the fullback. The fullback was just like, I can't catch up. He had to pull the tackle back for the foul, and I was just like, yeah, I would hate to be a defender. That's pretty much it, and it just goes to show that he didn't put. Solskjaer had the choice to put on. I mean, Ashley Young as a experienced defender or something defensively, leading 3-4-0, right? But he just chose to chuck Mason Greenwood on instead. It goes to show. I think he's sending a clear message.
yep, and you really summed it up. So we don't really need to add anything to that. But I think it's a long season, and there will be some problems during mid-season and stuff. And let's see how it goes. But hopefully, it's a good start, and hopefully the squad is confident and they give a tough fight for the title, and hopefully they will be in the Champions League spot. So, which other team would you like to talk about right now? Do you want to keep it in EPL, or should we move to La Liga? Or
I think we'll keep it to EPL in the sense that we can talk about the Super Cup.
yeah,
That was the next big match that.
yeah. So we can talk about Liverpool then.
Yep. So the next big match, I think, of the off season was the Super Cup, the
Yeah,
Liverpool Chelsea match. It was a better performance from Chelsea in the just after the Manchester United loss that they had. Considering they were facing a team that was much better than Manchester United. I think both sides had very good chances to win. Both sides played really well.
Yeah, the score didn't reflect really. Yeah, it's just luck. There was a lot of luck to that previous game, but I mean, I expected Liverpool to, like you said, they were definitely a stronger side to absolutely trounce Chelsea in the sense that they'll just run circles around, and it just ended up being a draw to penalties.
Yep, and having Conte was a big, big factor for Chelsea. It helped them play better. Pulisic was really good, and also Giroud played his role really well in the team. So there's signs of what Lampard wants to do with the team, and I think while they are inexperienced, they would give a tough fight for the fourth spot in the race for the top four. But I feel they also have a good outside chance in terms of winning the Europa League to qualify for UCL also. I think that's actually their best option to qualify for Champions League. But it would be quite great if they're able to do it through the top four qualification itself. Overall, they did play really good. And I think I liked what Lampard said about Kante. I remember at halftime in extra times, 105 minutes, Kante went and told to Lampard that he's out, his legs are tired, he can't walk a mile, and then after that he just like when the second half started, he sprinted 40 meters in order to recover some or track back for the opposing team counter attack. So that just talks about how great Kante is. And also, he's actually, I felt even though or rather, Sari was criticized a lot for changing Kante's role last season. He's adapted to that role really well, and he's used that role, and that role has helped him in getting the, I think it was the second goal for Chelsea. So it's interesting to see his evolution as a player. Also, he's not just what is an athletics workhorse alone. He tries to participate in the attacking part of the game also. So he's a great player. Very probably, I would say he's Chelsea's only world-class player that they have in the squad right now, with the others being more potentials.
No, getting used to the run of things coming back. I totally agree with what you said. Kante was, I mean, the person Kante reminds me most of. I mean, obviously as a Man U supporter, I think it brings me back to the nickname of Three Lang Park. I think that really goes to show how much he can run. I saw the comment as well. I was just like, "You're kidding me! That's how much he's running in the first half." And I was just like, "Yeah." And then seeing just him run back all the way. Though I think world class player wouldn't be. I'll put him as a world class player, but I think there's you're right to say that there are definitely a lot of potential other world class players sitting there, especially with Christian Pulisic. I'm actually really excited to see him perform this season. Seeing him play, I think I'm surprised Pedro has stuck around as long as he has in the Chelsea squad. But it goes to show that he has the experience. I mean, he played for Barca. I think he knows what he's doing. It's and it's just one of those things where you're like, what if we had gotten Pedro instead of Sanchez? Would things have worked out slightly earlier for us? But I just got to say that I don't think the Chelsea fans give Sarri enough credit, because he's the one that started playing Kante in that sort of box-to-box role where he was actually like, that's where his biggest strength is, because he can run so much. But the managers always play him in that DM role instead. And then Sarri being willing to put him box-to-box again, and went to show that he knew what to do with Kante. And then Frank Lampard just continue on. So yeah, you have to give credit to Sarri as well. But I'm actually looking forward to the Serie A with him coaching Juventus. Yes, Juventus. Yes.
Yeah.
No, why are you giving me that?
Sari is with Juventus and Conte is with Inter Milan.
Yeah, exactly. Just seeing those two. But last bit about the Chelsea match. It's just a shame that Tammy Abraham looks like such a big prospect in terms of player, not just prospect, but just potential and everything. And I'm just hoping that as a youth prospect, it doesn't get to his head that he missed that decisive penalty. I mean, to see that Jesse Lingard, Marcus Rashford coming onto social media to show him support, and seeing Frank Lampard talk to him after that, just saying it's okay. I think it goes to show that a lot of people see the potential that he has to rise, and I actually hope that he hits a point especially for English football and for England to reach a level that that Rashford himself has reached. Yeah.
Yep. And it's interesting to see that Chelsea had a transfer ban, of course, man. But even Liverpool and United didn't make many signings as expected. Of course, we set aside Harry Maguire, but otherwise we expected United to spend a lot more money. And
yeah, definitely expected them to spend a lot more money.
Yep.
I think, like I said, Solskjaer, and I think he has a proper idea, and he's proposed, and Ed Woodward has agreed to the point that yeah, we're not gonna splurge on money. We're not gonna buy world class players. We're gonna buy potential world class players and develop them instead, and
Yeah.
put faith into the youth.
That's also because of the FFP, because most of the clubs cannot really spend that much money. And
But I think they could have spent. But yeah,
another reason is that they aren't really in the Champions League right now, so
Mm.
it's difficult to attract more players. So Dybala didn't happen, probably for that reason.
it also goes to show the other way that we're not gonna buy half, in a sense, like half-hearted players. Not that they're half-hearted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who aren't really fully committed to the
Yeah,
project.
exactly. It goes to I think we got bitten once too many times. Looking back at Angel Di Maria, looking now at the Lukaku transfer out, and then
Falcao, probably.
I wouldn't say
Falcao was
half-hearted.
injured, so yeah.
It's really not fair. I think if he had a chance to had a solid run of games where the manager put him on, and we actually had proper wingers trying to swing cross the damn ball into the box, he's known to always just stay in the box and poach it. No one crossed it to him. You pass it to him outside the box, and then he dribble it in? No. Okay, anyway, why did you bring up such traumatic memories? Anyway, one last thing about Chelsea though. I think Lampard is going to put more faith into Emerson rather than Marcos Alonso. Because he's much more defensively settled than Marcos. Because Alonso likes to bolt forward and do that whole instead of left back duty, becomes a left winger sort of thing, and then leaves the whole big left space open up. Yeah. I think players to look out for this coming season, definitely Sadio Mane, and I think that it's been a good. How is Lallana on the team for Liverpool still? Adam Lallana is still on the Liverpool team. I thought he got transferred out. Okay, I didn't realize that. Okay, but yeah, Van Dijk, I'm excited to watch him play again, and yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we can just quickly give our predictions for the top four. And I guess no one talked about Spurs, but they are a strong team and they will contend for the title, of course. And I think title will remain between. Arsenal will also be a strong contender for the title, because I don't know why people don't talk about it, but maybe they will finish second or third, I guess. And the top four for me will be Arsenal, City, Liverpool, and Spurs, in no particular order. But anyone would like to add?
For me, it would
something?
be City to win, Liverpool coming second, Spurs third. I think the fourth spot is very hard to guess, but for now, I think it's going to be Manchester United. It's between Manchester United and Arsenal. I'm not really sure, but I think it might be Manchester United right now.
It totally forgot Chelsea, and I like that. It's alright.
Yeah, I think I sort of agree with what Carlos has said. But not that we forgot Chelsea. It's just that with the way Lampard is going with the youth, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah. I was just kidding.
It's less critical and more difficult to predict like how they're going to perform. But I totally agree. I think Man City is going to retain the title.
Yep.
And Liverpool is going to come up second. And but I actually I don't know. I just have this feeling that Tottenham are actually going to get fourth with, and they're going to battle out that fourth with Arsenal, and Man U are going to get third. Not that not because I'm a supporter. It's just looking
That's alright.
like they are all across the board, their pre-seasons and with their signings. I'm surprised Liverpool and Man City haven't made as many signings as they could. I mean, I'm excited to see how do you pronounce his name? Cancelo or Cancelo? Cancelo. All right, thanks. And but Arsenal has done very good business. I mean, 8 million.
Arsenal have done one of the best
Yeah.
business in the European.
Did you see the article where they had like a budget of 45 million?
Yeah, that was a joke.
or something like that.
Yeah, that was a
But
joke.
yeah, that was a joke. But But for them to
Getting Ceballos and then
Ceballos,
Ceballos is one of the best players for Arsenal right now.
yeah. Did you? Okay, come back to Ceballos in a bit. David Luiz to strengthen their
Yeah.
very expensive, experienced.
Yeah,
And
he's not expensive. He's
he
only
wasn't-
7 or 8
Yeah,
million.
quote unquote
Experienced player.
for experienced centre back for such a price at 8 million, right? I think it really settles, especially them losing Koscielny,
Yep.
right? That one. Did they transfer Guendouzi in, or was it? The Guendouzi was a transfer this window as well, right?
Yep. I guess.
I
so.
thought it was either January or this month. Ceballos, he was very critical to their game last night against Burnley.
Yep.
Burnley were defending with 10 men basically. It was crazy, and for them to get Nicolas Pepe, yeah, they've done good business. Tottenham as well. But that's why the transfers can sometimes make or break a season. I mean, I speak from experience.
Yeah, but
But yeah, so I think.
but under Emery and the way they are planning their team and the way they have chosen the correct players for each position,
definitely.
considering the kind of style of play they want to adapt to, and
Yeah,
it's
that's
quite comparable.
That's why it's third, fourth, and fifth. It's going to be really close between those three.
Yeah, maybe
And-
with the difference of 4 to 5 points at the most.
I would even say 1 to 2.
Probably.
Yeah,
Even
and-
goal difference if
Yeah,
it's that
I'll,
close.
I'll actually throw Chelsea. So it's really a top 6 team, but 1, 2 is definitely 1 Man City, 2 Liverpool, 3, 4, 5, 6. So close to the point that but I would say Man U, Arsenal, Tottenham, and Chelsea. But I would definitely keep my eye on the Wolves. They're playing Europa League this season. They've just been rising up the ranks.
Yeah, Wolves can make it to the Champions League fighting spot, I guess. Maybe till they will fight for the fourth, of course.
Look,
I guess.
after things, yeah, they'll fight for fourth. But after things have happened to Leicester City, I don't think.
Yeah, but Leicester was more like one season wonder.
One
I hate to
definitely-
say that.
Yeah, definitely
But-
a one season wonder. But
Not really, not exactly in that sense, but winning the title
They
and then
struggled with
competing for the
Champions League after
mid-table.
that.
Yeah,
No, but I think Leicester, it was not just that they were playing good and they were playing really good in that season. Simultaneously, they were lucky that every other top team was playing horrible that season.
horrible, and moreover, they lost quite a few players after that season.
Obviously, that's for sure.
Mahrez and Kante and
Yep.
maybe even Drinkwater. Drinkwater.
Yeah,
is-
Drinkwater also was moved to Chelsea.
I love that name, Drinkwater.
Drinkwater that good.
Yeah,
But
but
he
still.
was important for that team. He was
Exactly.
He was a starting center midfielder. So
Yeah, so maybe even Vardy is the only one who.
He was important, but is he that good right now?
I guess Michael and Vardy are the only two main players which remain in that team from the era where they won the EPL.
Michael.
Yeah, Schmeichel and Vardy.
Oh, I thought you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you say someone's name.
So
No, Wes Morgan's still there. Wes Morgan's still there.
okay. So would you want to move on to other leagues now? If
If you want to go to Serie A or
I was thinking about La Liga,
La Liga,
because why not?
why not? Yeah.
Two of the La Liga fans are here, and so I'll start with Real Madrid, and it has been a good season or a bad season. That's yet to see. But there aren't really many clubs in the world which can spend 300 million in one transfer window and start the same starting 11 which they started in the previous season. So
but most of them are injured. So
I agree, but it's kind of the similar look of Real Madrid as we saw it last season. It's not much different. And anything would you'd like to add, Carlos?
yeah, I think that obviously preseason was pretty bad. Probably one of the worst preseason that we had, which is probably following also one of the worst seasons that we've had. I would say that overall we played, pretty well in the first match. For considering all the injuries that we had, I say pretty well in the sense from a defensive point of view. I
Against
felt-
Celta Vigo, you mean?
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, when I say pretty well, I mean from a defensive point of view, we played really well. Especially, I felt Casemiro played really well. In a long time, I've not seen this much discipline from Casemiro in a match. where he did not run forward a lot. He was all, it was really nice to see him cover up for both the fullbacks. I think Odriozola did not have a good game. I think Marcelo in the first half did not have a good game, but Celta Vigo for some reason did not exploit that so much, and were focusing on the Odriozola flank a lot more.
Yeah.
And I think they got a lot of success from it in the second half, but they were also playing a lot of crosses, which for which they did not have a good enough target man.
Yeah, but Marcelo has always been like that, and even because he was involved in all the 3 goals, so he's always like more involved in offense than in defense. But what I liked about this, the Bale's involvement more into the midfield and drifting into the left flank, and then providing more men in the midfield area to crowd and to provide an outlet.
Yeah, Bale had a good game.
Odriozola was a bit off, so Bale was helping him also defensively, and it was nice to see him being one of the best players in the world as he is. But I hope he can carry on this form for throughout the duration of the whole season. And Benzema was kind of again linking up, and then sometimes you could see him doing what a striker needs to do, but then he's again dropping back. So it's more like Real Madrid have only one or at the most 2 players who are actually lurking near the box or are pressing that high up or providing an outlet for the vertical passes.
I didn't see much of vertical passes from midfield also. I felt the game was more like we went from fullback to the winger, and the winger had the expectation that they should beat their man and then create a chance. That was, I think that's where actually we scored the first goal, and that was more how we tried to play. Obviously, it's difficult to gauge after the red card, which is an insane red card. But after the red card, I felt you could see hallmarks of old Zidane team in this. The goals that they scored, they depended a lot on individual talent or individualism. Cruz had an amazing shot. I think they also had the first goal had a part of counter-attack, but at the end of the day, they still depended on Bale's ability to beat the man. That's why I felt only defensively we played really good in the sense, and especially the way Casemiro played, there were still gaps between midfield and forward line. For some reason, I find it very weird that Modric is the one who's pressing the opposition centre back. I didn't understand why he has to be so up front when Benzema could do it.
That's what I'm saying, that there is a lack of offensive transformation when you have the ball and when you have to move it further and you have to advance to the opponent's half and create chances. That's where a lot of work needs to be done right now. And I think even in defensive transformation, Real Madrid weren't as good because Celta Vigo didn't really capitalize on the faults. There was a lot of, if they pressed up high and if they didn't leave that much of space, I guess Celta would have done a lot better. But anyways, that's a different topic which will be seen in the coming days if Real Madrid continue to play this way. Did you see that goal of Adures against Barcelona?
Yeah, I saw that game. I saw the entire game. I felt Barcelona struggled heavily in that game, in the sense they were very inept. They had all the possession. They reached up to the final third, but in the final third they were doing nothing. I would say they were unlucky in a way that
we should mention now that Messi wasn't playing.
Yeah, Messi wasn't playing.
Oh, no, I know. It's just that you hear Barcelona and in that you just can't help but giggle because Messi isn't playing. It's just.
But it was funny because
I just mentioned that because Carlos mentioned that they could advance till the final third and then they couldn't create anything, and that's where Messi comes into play.
It's not. I would say that load on Messi is unfair also. If you look at it, okay, I agree Suarez was out, and because of that they had problems as such. But I didn't feel that Griezmann was played too much on the wing, and because of that they were not able to actually do anything. That Audrey's goal was out of the blue. I would say it was fantastic. But yeah, it's funny if you look at it from the side that where we had a horrible season but we won the first game. I would say pretty comfortably, even though we had the red card. While on the other hand, Barcelona had a great preseason and they struggled to score a goal and they eventually actually lost.
Preseason is not really that
I'm
much
just saying
of it's not a true.
The fact that our preseason was factored into so much hype.
Our preseason was below standards in every sense. It was rock bottom because it's not about the results as per, but the way of playing.
Yeah.
And that was bit too bad. But if you again see that we were playing against Bayern Munchen, against Arsenal, and these teams are a bit more stabilized right now than
And
Real
I think
Madrid.
we missed Casemiro,
Yep,
or at least Zidane missed
exactly.
Casemiro, considering that he chose to sell Llorente,
Yeah,
and I don't think so Valverde is there up there yet. So I think we missed.
it was kind of fascinating to see that Valverde wasn't even in the squad for this one against Celta. He was in the stands, and that if something happens to Casemiro, then you don't really have any backup.
true, but I think he wasn't.
Then you can just expect Cruz to shift into the Casemiro role, and then maybe get an Isco or someone for. Yeah, it's quite risky. But I would also like to talk about the Coutinho transfer to Bayern Munchen on loan, and that was that was an interesting one. And there are reports from Catalan media that they fear if Bale goes on to Bayern Munchen on loan, then they would jump in for Neymar. So for preventing that, they loaned Coutinho to Bayern Munchen so that Real Madrid cannot loan out Bale and Neymar doesn't go to Real Madrid. So it's quite complex for me to understand why all
But
this
what
worked.
I found the deal funny for another reason is that apparently there is no, it's the option to buy is not mandatory.
Yeah,
So it's like I think for Bayern Munich it's a good deal. You pay 20-30 million and say whatever is his fees for a year,
yeah,
and you get a player of Coutinho's level. If they
Yeah.
want, they can target Sane next year.
yeah.
They're not obliged to buy him. So I find this a weird deal for Barcelona. A goodish deal for Coutinho. If they don't buy him next year, I think he's still in limbo. And I'm not really sure about the Bale to Bayern Munich thing. I'm not sure that Bayern Munich really. I'm not sure how sure Bayern Munich really wanted Bale. Don't know if Bale wants to go over there. I find that part very weird. But I don't really see what Barcelona get out of this. It's not like by loaning him without a guaranteed option to buy next year.
They
can-
just get a player off from the squad, and that's pretty much it.
But they will, like, what will they do next year if Bayern decide not to buy him? Then
Then they will make another terrible decision. That's it.
And
they
no.
will loan him out to PSG or something.
they can't keep loaning him. That's my point. And eventually at some point of time they'll need somebody to buy him.
His value will drop drastically.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If next year, if Bayern don't take him, and they already have Neymar, they already, like, everybody in the world knows that he's excess.
Yep.
You have no choice.
Yep.
So, and they'll not be able to fit everyone. So they'll have to accept like a really, really horrible deal. So I don't know. If Bayern agreed for the 120 million, I don't know why not make it mandatory purchase.
But mandatory to purchase is kind of sale only. You can have an option to buy, but making
they
it
didn't do
mandatory,
that.
it's not really a
No, they
loan
didn't do
deal then.
I understand, but
Yeah.
I'm saying they should have done it like that, in the sense like how the Mbappe deal was done.
Probably Bayern Munchen weren't really willing to do that, and
Then
we know that Bayern Munchen do a lot of good business every now and then.
But then this benefits
So-
them in no way. So then don't wait for
It
Neymar
benefits
next year.
Bayern. That's the point.
No, my point is from
Yeah.
Barcelona's point of view.
Barcelona have made terrible decisions over the
But
years.
this is even worse than
Yeah.
any sort of terrible decision. No, I mean there is no common sense in this. They could have if they can't sell him, keep him and wait for Neymar next year.
Yeah, probably. Anyways, we should also talk about Inaki Williams, who got a contract extension for 9 years.
I think he's
For
the
n-
only player in the world I've seen who's got a contract extension for 9 years.
Yeah,
But I
maybe even Iniesta got a contract extension for lifetime or something like that, but he retired. Anyways,
Raul and Guti also. Ike, Raul and Guti all got also lifetime contracts.
yeah, but yeah, that's more of a kind gesture from the club that okay, we respect you and that's it, and then you can retire next year. Anyways, so I read a stat that he ran 19 kilometers in the 50-60 minutes which he played, and that was like too much for a player, like, because generally footballers run 9-10 kilometers in the whole game. Anyways, now do you want to move on to some other league? Serie A, I guess, or League One?
Serie A, yeah, sure. Juventus played the first game. I think they won 1-0.
Yep. And Ramsey made his debut.
Who scored? I didn't see the game.
Sean will check it out for us. Thank you. It's classic Serie A score 1-0. Was that?
What game was this?
They are playing. Maybe it was a friendly match, and yeah, Syria is yet to start. I guess they play against Parma. Yeah, and it was a friendly match. I guess a preseason friendly. Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Syria starts next week.
But who did they win 1-0 against then?
It was.
Was it an Italian team?
I don't know. It was a preseason friendly because they start against Parma next week,
Okay.
and
Trestina. Friendly. Scholar Paolo Di Bala.
Dybala.
Trestino.
How
Okay,
much does it? How does it feel to read that, Sean?
I don't care.
Paulo Dybala.
But he didn't want to come, and also his image rights was a big.
If the player doesn't want to come in, it's just all like higher up saying, "Oh, we pay this, we pay that." It's not fair to the player as well. I think the player wants to play, to a certain extent, wants to play football for a club they want to play for. So yeah, I mean, it goes to show the type of business that we've been doing, like buying Di Maria, buying Sanchez, seeing players go to clubs like, say, James Rodriguez in this unfortunate situation right now, being loaned to Bayern. I see the same situation with him being with Coutinho right now, where is James still stuck at Real Madrid, by the way?
How much is in Real Madrid?
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, but there's no buyer for him. Atletico
There's only one buyer for him who doesn't want to pay 40 million. Like, that's just nuts.
no, Atletico also want him, but we are not willing to sell two players to Atletico in one window, and
I don't
that's
think Atletico's
understandable.
offered anything, but Laurentis, this is not ready to pay 40 million for him. Like, that's like, I'm shocked. That guy's worth at least 70-80 million in today's market.
Who?
And James is worth
Yeah.
70-80 million, I think, in today's
yeah,
market.
Yeah, sure.
And Ancelotti, he's played his best football under Ancelotti. I can't believe that 40 million is too less for Napoli. They should just take it for that price.
Yeah, but they have their own financial troubles, so it's understandable. But talking about Inter Milan, they had quite a good transfer window, especially starting with Conte, of course, getting such a quality manager for a team which has an elite history in recent years. It is good to see them reviving back. Napoli also are going ahead, and I guess Juventus have taken a step back. To be very honest, they aren't making many wise decisions. Getting Danilo for Cancelo, that's not really a decision which I would agree on.
I think I'm not sure, but I read this somewhere that they had there is some financial thing that they need to show by this year. They had this much budget, which is why they did that.
So that's financial fair play.
Not financial fair play exactly. Something else within the Italian thing that you need to show this much. Something like
Taxations or something?
some taxation. I'm not 100%
Yeah.
sure. And the other thing is they decided to go all out on Delict.
Yeah.
But I feel overall they had a good window. It's just I'm not really sure if they had a good window for Sarri. Like, I found certain decisions really weird. I don't know why they wanted Lukaku. Lukaku is not a Sarri type player. At least not offensively. Okay, defensively I understand the guy is willing to press and do a lot of stuff beyond. No, Lukaku is willing to press. Lukaku is always willing to press and work hard for the team. He just doesn't have a good first touch for goals.
No, he doesn't. There was this match last year where can't remember whether it's Ferdinand or someone commentating. Guy comes on, 15 minutes, starts panting just from one sprint, and he didn't recover. Like, that's not the way any football player should be. That's what he said, and I was just like, if he goes into a high pressing situation, like, he won't be able to keep up. That's what happened end of last season. Solskjaer trying to play his system, and then he just couldn't keep up the whole thing. And that now he's saying, Conte has a harder making him do hard work. It's just no. You didn't work hard enough anyway. You're 104 bloody kilos. Even if it's pure muscle, if your boss tells you to meet a certain weight, right, you do so to meet that certain weight. So, yeah, exactly. And I mean, I'm excited to see Serie A this season because you have Juventus with Sarri as the manager, Conte at Inter Milan, and Napoli with
Here's a bold prediction:
Ancelotti.
you might see the worst season of Juventus in the recent years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I,
because not because Juventus have taken a step back by all the transfers and the way
the other
they
teams have caught up.
other teams have also got up, and especially I am interested to see how Ikari plays out, because there was a talk about three-way swap with Lazio, Roma, and Inter Milan. So the Zeko goes to, it was,
Inter Milan,
yeah, and then
Roma,
Icardi goes to Roma, and then there was another player who goes from Lazio to Roma.
something like that. Okay.
Yeah, it was a weird one. Anyways, but it's quite interesting to see that no one wants to buy Ikari. Probably not because of his skill, but for his wife, who is a terrible agent for to deal with.
But I think Juventus signing this year was good. It was just I'm not Sarri good, so I not good enough for the kind of manager that Sarri is. So I don't see him adapting. Luckily, they did not have to go after. They did not get Lukaku, I feel.
Yeah, but also they are lucky that they didn't lose on Dybala, because I read somewhere that they need to sell a lot many players, and maybe Dybala was one of those guys. Because also the wage plan is quite large due to Cristiano Ronaldo.
But
and they can't
Dybala
afford
doesn't
that
really. I'm not really sure how Dybala would fit also in this, because others if you assume that he's going to play 4-3-3, which I think he is, in that 4-3-3 system, there is no proper number 9 for him, so he'll have to go with a 10 or a false 9. I can see Dybala playing that role, but I'm not really sure if Cristiano is the best place to play on the left hand side of that role, and anybody else is the best person to play on the right hand side for that role. I don't think so. They have somebody like that. Like for a Sarri system, I genuinely feel that they made a huge mistake by going for Sarri instead of Conte. If had they gone for Conte, I think they had a better chance for winning the UCL. Not because I know that Conte does not have a good record in UCL, but I feel that overall what Conte wants from a team is basically a set of great players that he can coach, and where they play with, where they work hard for the team. And I felt Juve had all those kind of qualities in them. And if they had Conte, it would have been just another level. I think I can see Conte and Cristiano getting along really well, because they basically are the work hard kind of people. Obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo right now does not do a lot of defensive work, and I think Conte is smart enough to understand there's no point in making him doing a lot of defensive work, and he can structure the entire team around Cristiano Ronaldo better than probably what Sarri could do. So I think they made a huge mistake over there. But it'll be interesting to see how the season pans out, because definitely Conte is likely to give Juventus a tough challenge in the league. It'll also be interesting to see what Napoli do. Yeah, I'm not sure they'll have the worst season, but I think it will not be as easy as winning the league as it was before.
Yep, that is quite appropriate.
Buffon went back to Juventus.
Sorry, what's that?
I'm just looking at La Liga transfers, and
Yep.
I just forgot that Buffon went back from PSG to Juventus.
Sorry, which player?
Gigi Buffon.
Yeah, Buffon.
Yeah.
Buffon, there was a talk that he'll go back to Parma or something, but apparently he didn't, and he's still hoping for a UCL victory, but I don't think it's coming.
He's unfortunately, as good as a goalkeeper he is, he's getting on the years, and he's just not gonna get one.
Yeah, it's
Unfortunately, but yeah.
unfortunate as well, but also that it's also that Juventus aren't really that prepared for UCL. No matter what Cristiano says, or no matter what they think at Juve, that's not the way you win UCL. If you see the pattern, they aren't really taking the right steps. They are more like panicking over it and messing it up, to be honest. What's your thought on that, Carlos?
I think I feel that they have a muddled strategy. Like if they wanted to win UCL, even if they wanted to spend extra on it, I didn't see why they want to change the style of football at the same time. Like I feel you don't need to do
Yeah,
both at the
exactly.
same time.
Exactly.
And I don't think so. They were in the space where they had to do it. So that's why I still say, even if you remove Allegri, I don't have a problem with they removing Allegri. But I feel Conte was the right person, or they should not have. They should have gotten a manager that would continue the ethos that they currently had and build upon it. So I felt Conte would be the right person to replace Allegri. Because when Allegri replaced Conte at that point of time, it was I felt the right appointment, because at that point of time they needed a manager who would give them more confidence than a manager saying that I want better players. But now they have the better players which the old manager wanted, with whom you actually came back to relevance. So I feel they should have given him, they should have gone after him without a shadow of a doubt, and they should have played that system. So and played his system, which I think would benefit them. They're also built for the 3-5-2, so I don't really see why there would be any other issues with that. So I cannot completely understand why they went for Sari. I think it doesn't make sense to me.
They might even lose out on Serie A title this season. They might. I'm not saying they will that, but it will be a close
Well,
one.
I feel they'll definitely have a challenge this time.
Yeah,
At least from Inter Milan.
Exactly. Also, I just read something I want to share. Barca hijacked Malcolm and shipped him to Russia. Forced Coutinho out and shipped him to Bayern. Forced Dembele out and shipping him to PSG. That's the business Barca have been doing right now, and so
No, I don't
it
think
answers the
Dembele
previous
is-
question.
I don't think so Dembele is going anywhere. I think Dembele is.
It's included in the Neymar deal. If it happens, then Dembele is going.
No, as far as I understand, their Coutinho, their Neymar deal was with Coutinho and Semedo. To my understanding, neither does PSG want him, nor does Barca want to sell Dembele. They are okay to sell Coutinho because they see Dembele as the has a good future prospect than
Yep.
Coutinho. And my understanding is their problem over here is one, the money involved. So basically, the initial offer was I think some 100 million or 80 million plus Coutinho plus Rakitic. That was I think their
They want to sell Rakitic.
I don't understand that, but
yeah, that's
maybe.
quite weird.
But PSG don't want Rakitic. They're okay with Coutinho. They want Semedo included, and they want 150 million.
Yeah,
So
it's weird.
So it's they're not able to meet on that part.
I just wanted to just put it out there. Why would Barcelona want Neymar back? I personally wouldn't, but I don't know. It's probably just me, but yeah.
No one knows why.
No one knows why.
Yeah. It's more of like if we don't get it, then Real will get it, and it's more like an embarrassing situation like Luis Figo one. So it's better that if he goes to our rivals, it's better he comes to us. That kind of situation.
I think it's more the players want him. I feel it's the pressure from the both
Messi.
players, Messi,
Suarez also, yeah.
Piqué. I think they are the ones who want him. I think they wanted him more than Griezmann.
Did you see that Piqué was shouting at Dembele and ranting at him against Atletico Bilbao,
I
and
don't remember.
the Spanish media caught hold of it and said that that's it. He's out to PSG now. Anyways, that doesn't make sense. Before we end, would you like to add something, John?
No, just a little shout out to like women's football as well. I've been following it.
Oh yeah.
Recently.
Oh yeah.
It's just it looks way more competitive, and I think on top of the fact that Man U started a women's team, I also started following it more closely. But
Real Madrid also did.
Real Madrid just did as well.
Yeah, Siri Takon, they have taken over a club, and from next season it will
Taken
be
over.
named Real Madrid. Yeah,
Typical.
typical.
I'm kidding.
But now it's better to take over already established club. Yeah,
But I think just to put it there, I think Olympios Lyon.
Yep.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yep.
Yes. They've done really good transfer business as well. I think they're the best European women's team right
Yep.
now. National team, I think, goes without saying that.
USA,
It's USA. But
also a women started the Super Cup
Have
refereeing. Yeah.
okay. I didn't.
No,
see
no,
that.
no, no. The Super Cup was refereed by women.
Oh,
team of
yeah.
women
Super Cup
referees.
referee.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So yeah, just
That's also a progress.
So yeah, just quick to that. But I think I'm excited for the English female, the women's English
Football.
top flight. What do they call it? I always hear the women's EPL, so I never hear what the what is actually called. So
Yeah.
it's terrible of me, but yeah, I'm excited to watch that because the Manchester United women's team are there as well, and they've done good business this semester.
Yeah, this season. Too much
Uni
of
can-
university pressure.
Yeah, too much university at this point. But yeah, wrapping things up. Thanks for
Yep.
having me back.
Sure. Thank you so much for coming, Sean. And we'll let you go. And if you want to go,
No. I was just wrapping up.
because I just wanted to point out that Atletico had an amazing transfer window, and they
Yeah,
are
I felt they had the best transfer window
Yep.
this year.
in Europe, and probably they'll be the most competitive team in La Liga ahead of Real Madrid and Barcelona. Because they have a set coach, they have a system, they have structure, and they have made very good signings, very good signings, which fit directly into their system. And
No, I don't think so. That the players fit in the system. I think they're trying to change the system.
no, I
But
think Joao Felix and Llorente and which were the other guys? Hermoso.
But all of this amount of ball playing, like possession based ball playing players, I think they're going to. I felt there was already change in the system. In the preseason match, I felt while they counter attacked, they also played on the front foot more. It'll be. I'm interested to see
they
what
are more
Simeone
into
does.
pressing. The point is that they were good defensively before. They are good defensively now, but now they have also improved in the offensive transformation, and they can counter attack and press, and that's pretty much what you expect from players as young as Joao Felix is 19 years old, and he can press for the whole 90 minutes. And anything you would like to add to that, Carlos, before we wrap up?
Nope. But good to be back.
Good to be back, and hopefully we will be recording podcasts every week now. So thank you for listening, and we will be back by next week. And keep listening to Futbol Europa podcast and keep watching football. Thank you.
Thank
everyone.
you.